Hello students, myself Pallavi Borade, teacher at Ferguson Junior College, Pune. I teach Vocational Electronics Paper 1. Today we are going to start our chapter number 3 and name of the chapter is transducer. So in this chapter we are going to study different types of transducer and the explanation of each transducer. So let's start with the presentation. So the name of the chapter number 3 is transducer. It has 10% weightage in the board syllabus. So let's see the contents. So in this chapter, we are going to see the definition of transducer, then instrumentation system, then we have classification of transducer. In that, we are going to see the electric transducer and principle-based transducer. Then we are going to study the characteristics of transducer, selection of transducer, how to select the transducer for the instruments, then method of reducing errors in transducer. Then we are going to study types of active transducer according to the principle of operation and types of passive transducer according to the principle of operation. Then in this chapter, we are going to study the detailed explanation of different types of transducer. The first transducer is thermistor. Then we have piezoelectric pickup, then LVDT, LDR, optocoupler, then capacitive microphone, loudspeaker, and the last one is gas sensor. So let's start with the chapter. So first of all, what do you mean by transducer? So transducer is basically a device who converts one form of energy into the another form of energy. So energy can be anything. It can be thermal energy, it can be electric energy. So that device who converts one form of energy into the another form of energy, the device is called as transducer. So it converts the measurand means information, to a usable electric signal. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss the electric transducer. That's why the output of this transducer is always electric signal. And it is a device that is capable of converting the physical quantity into a proportional electric quantity, such as voltage or current. So these are the examples of some transducers. So basically these are the instruments where transducers are used. So these examples are basically instruments which are used in day-to-day life. We have touch keypad where piezoelectric pickup is used. Then we have thermal sensor where temperature transducers are used. In breath tester, in this instrument, we can convert electric energy into the electric energy. Then we have soap dispenser. In that also pressure energy is converted into electric energy. So these are the instruments example where transducers are used. So let's see what do you mean by instrumentation system. So basically in electronics, we have different types of instruments. So in that instruments, each system has three types of. So let's start with the instrumentation system. What do you mean by instrumentation system? In electronics, we have different types of instruments where transducers are used, and they have three major elements, that is input device, signal conditioning circuits, and output device. So for any instrumentation system, we have first human message, that is our information, which is applied to the primary sensing element. So combine this, it is basically input devices. Then we have signal processing, which is also called as signal conditioning circuits, because in the input device part, we have transducers, and the output of transducers are always the electric signals, and we have to convert those electric signal by using this signal processing unit. Then this output of signal processing unit is connected to the output display. So output display can be any meter, recorder, or any type of display. So that output device is used. So input devices. So it receives the quantity under measurement and delivers a proportional electric signal to the signal processing unit. So basically transducer used as an input devices. Then signal conditioning unit. So it is used to amplify, filter, or otherwise modify the signal to a format acceptable to the output devices. So examples for signal conditioning unit is amplifiers, A to D, that is analog to digital converter, or D to A converter, that is digital to analog converter, etc. Then output devices. So basically the output devices may be a simple indicating meter, for example, a magnetic tape recorder, a digital computer, or CRO. Then classification of transducer. So whenever we talk about classification of transducer, there are two types of transducer which are available, that is electric transducer The first type of electric transducer is active transducer, and the second type of electric transducer is passive transducer. Then the second classification is, it is based on principle which is used in transducer. So it can be resistance transducer, then capacitance transducer, and the third one is inductance transducer. So these are the classification of transducer. So let's start with the active transducer. What do you mean by active transducer? So here is the definition. These transducers are of the self-generating type. They do not require external power supply. That's why these transducers are called as active transducer. So an analog voltage or current is produced when stimulated by some physical form of energy. So these type of transducers are self-generating and they do not require any external power supply for performance. So these are the examples of active transducer. The first one is thermocouple. So here in this transducer, heat energy is converted into the electric energy. Then piezoelectric pickup, this is also a type of active transducer where pressure is converted into the electric energy. Then photovoltaic cell, that is a solar cell where solar energy is converted into the electric energy. Next one is passive transducer. So let's see the definition of passive transducer. So these transducers require external power. They produce a variation in some electric parameters such as resistance, capacitance, etc. So that's why these transducers are called as passive. The output is always in terms of resistance, capacitance and inductance, and they require external power supply for output, and which can be measured as a voltage or current variation. This transducer absorbs some energy from the physical phenomena under study. So let's see the example of passive transducer. So the first example is thermistor. So this is basically temperature transducer who converts temperature, that is thermal energy, into the electric variations in terms of resistance. Then we have photoconductive cell where photons, that is light rays, are converted into the electric energy. Third one is resistance strain gauge. Here resistance wire is used and which is converted into the electric energy. So these are the characteristics of transducer. Then selection of transducer. So while selecting any transducer for any instrument, these following factors should be considered, and the first factor is physical quantity to be measured. Then transducer principle used to measure the quantity, accuracy required for the measurement, and fundamental transducer parameters. So the first is what you have to measure, that is the physical quantity. The second one is transducer principle, means the type of transducer which is used for measurement, then accuracy required for the measurement, and the fundamental transducer parameters should be considered. After that, physical conditions that we have to check first, then ambient condition. In some ambient conditions the transducer can perform or not. Then environmental condition again, then compatibility of the equipment. The transducer should compatible with the equipment. So these are the factors that we have to consider while selecting the transducer. Then when we use this transducer in instrument to reduce the errors, these are the methods of reducing error in transducer. The first method is, it is using in place system calibration with correction performed in data reduction. We have to calibrate these transducer parameters in the reducing errors, simultaneously monitoring the environment and correcting the data accordingly. So accordingly, the data of the output. The second method is simultaneously monitoring the environment and correcting the data accordingly. So in this method, we have to monitor the environment as well as we have to correct the data accordingly of the transducer. The third method is artificially controlling the environment. So we can use advanced structure for this controlling the environment. Next. So here, types of active transducer according to the principle of operation. There are so many active transducers are available. So here I have tabulated this active transducer according to the principle of operation. So the first type of active transducer is thermocouple, and the principle of operation is an EMF is generated across the junction of two dissimilar metals when junction is heated. So here in this active transducer, EMF is generated across the junction when two dissimilar metals are heated, and it is used in temperature and heat measurement. Next active transducer is piezoelectric pickup. So the principle of operation is An EMF is generated when an external force is applied to crystals such as quartz. So here in this piezoelectric pickup, quartz crystal is used, and if you apply pressure to that crystal, EMF is generated across that crystal, and it is used in pressure changes and sound measurement. Then types of passive transducer according to principle of operation. The first passive transducer type is resistance. In that we have resistance strain gauge. So here principle of operation is resistance of wire is changed by elongation and compression due to externally applied stress, and this transducer is used in displacement, force and torque measurement. The second type of resistance transducer is thermistor. So here the principle of operation is resistance of certain metal oxide with negative temperature coefficient of resistor varies with temperature. So basically this thermistor is used in temperature measurement where resistance can vary with the temperature variations, and it is used in temperature measurement. Third one is Pirani gauge or hot wire meter. So here resistance of heating element is changed by convention cooling of a stream of gas. Basically this transducer is used in gas pressure measurement. Next type is capacitance transducer. The first example is variable capacitor pressure gauge. So principle of this transducer is distance between two parallel plates is varied by an external force, and it is used in displacement and pressure measurement. Next one is capacitor microphone. So basically this transducer used in sound measurement or speech measurement. So here sound pressure varies the capacitance between a fixed plate and movable diaphragm, and it is used in displacement measurement. Example of this inductance transducer is differential transducer, that is LVDT, and the principle of this transducer is the differential voltage of two secondary windings of transformer is varied by positioning the magnetic core through external force. So the application of this transducer, it is used in displacement and pressure measurement. So the next transducer is voltage and current transducer. So example of this transducer is photoemissive cell, and the principle of this transducer is electrons are emitted due to the incident radiation on photoemissive surface. So basically it is used in light measurement where light energy is converted into the electric energy. So let's start with the working of transducer. So the first transducer is thermistor. Basically this transducer is used for temperature measurement. Why this transducer is called as thermistor? Because this is thermally sensitive resistor. Thermal energy is converted into the electric energy. So the resistance is depend on the thermal energy. So this is the symbol of thermistor where resistor is shown in the circle with the notation of capital T, and this is the actual image of thermistor where we can use in practicals. So with the two leads we have one disc type of thermistor here. So let's start the working. The thermistors are ideal temperature transducer. Thermistors are semiconductors with high, usually negative temperature coefficient of resistance. They are useful for precision temperature measurement, control and compensation. So basically thermistors are thermally sensitive resistor. If you increase the temperature, the resistance will increase or decrease according to the temperature variation, and it is depend on the temperature coefficient of that transducer. So when the temperature is increased and resistance is also increased, then that temperature coefficient is positive, and that thermistor is PTC type of thermistor. And when temperature is increasing but the resistance is decreasing with the temperature variation, then they have temperature coefficient of negative. That's why they are negative temperature coefficient type of thermistor. So thermistors are used the temperature in the range of -100 degrees Celsius to 300 degrees Celsius, and the resistance range from 0.5 ohm to up to 75 mega ohm. So huge range is available for this thermistor. So thermistors are basically made up of sintered mixture of metallic oxide such as cobalt, copper, nickel, manganese, etc. They are available in the form of beads, rod and disc type. So let's study the thermistor characteristics. So these are the characteristics of thermistor where NTC type and PTC type thermistors are here. So if you observe the diagram, then when resistance is decreasing and temperature is increased, that type of curve is negative temperature coefficient, And when resistance is also increasing, when temperature is increasing, the graph is shown as PTC type thermistor. So the temperature resistance characteristic shows that a thermistor has very high negative temperature coefficient of resistance. Generally, NTC type of thermistors are used in the practical applications of thermistor. So first main application of thermistor is measurement of temperature, then measurement of thermal conductivity. It is used in thermal conductivity also. Then to compensate for the effect of temperature on components and circuit performance. So this is the application of thermistor. So temperature measurement using thermistor using Wheatstone bridge. So if you used thermistor in the Wheatstone bridge and we have to balance this equation, R1 divided by R2 is equal to R3 by Rx. In the place of Rx, if you put thermistor, then we can calculate the unknown resistance by using this Wheatstone bridge. So this is the application of thermistor. Second transducer. Second transducer is piezoelectric pickup. So this is basically a pressure transducer and it is a type of active transducer. This is the internal diagram where crystal is shown. Where force is applied to that crystal, output voltage is calculated across that crystal, and this is the actual image of the piezoelectric pickup where two leads are connected to the multimeter. So in the piezoelectric pickup, piezoelectric effect occurs. So here if you observe the diagram, in that one pressure port is there, four summing members are there, and output voltage leads are there. There is one crystal. So here piezoelectric crystals, when subjected to pressure or tension, develop electric charges on the definite crystal surfaces, and we will get some voltage or current across that crystal. So the charges so developed are proportional to the magnitude of the mechanical pressure or tension, and the sign of charges changes when the compressor is changed into a tension. So this effect is basically called as piezoelectric effect, which is used in piezoelectric pickup transducer. So the crystal types are basically quartz or Rochelle salt. So these are the common crystals which are used in this transducer. Applications of this transducer, it is used in high frequency accelerometers. Then it is measurement of surface roughness and vibration pickups. It is used in ultrasonic generators and underwater detection system known as sonar. So they are used in sonar also. Real-time applications. So real-time applications are exercise equipments, then pin pads where touch is required, then computer motherboards, then we can use it in alarm clock, medical devices also. So these are the real-time applications where piezoelectric pickup transducer is used. There are some disadvantages also. So it cannot measure static conditions and the output voltage is affected by the temperature variation of the crystal. So the third type of transducer is LVDT. LVDT means linear variable differential transducer. So this transducer is basically a differential transducer, or it is also called as displacement transducer, where two secondary coils with one primary coil is used. So this is the internal diagram of LVDT. So this is internal diagram of LVDT. If you observe this diagram, first diagram, that is one primary coil is used with the core and two secondary coils are connected, and the output across secondary coils is differential output. That's why output is V1 minus V2. So let's start with the working. This is actual image of LVDT. The LVDT consists of a single primary windings and two secondary windings which are placed in either side of the primary. The secondaries have an equal number of turns, but they are connected in series opposition. That's why we will get the EMF of coil 1 and coil 2 in the difference. So the EMF induced in coil 1 and coil 2 oppose each other, and the differential output is E secondary 1, that is EMF at secondary coil 1, minus E secondary 2, that is EMF at secondary coil 2. So let's see the core position. If core is at null position, that is core is at center. If the core is in the center, the induced EMF in the secondaries are equal and opposite. So the output voltage will be 0 volt, and that position is called as null position. So when we move that core at the center, we will get null position output when core is at left side. So when the external force moves the core to the right side, more magnetic flux links the right hand coil than the coil 1. Therefore, we will get EMF of secondary 1 is less than EMF of secondary coil 2. So when at core is at the right position, we will get EMF at secondary 1 is less than EMF of secondary 2. When the core is moved to the left side, then more flux links the coil 1 than coil 2, and the resulting output voltage is in phase with the EMF of coil 1. Therefore, EMF at secondary coil 1 is greater than EMF of secondary coil 2. So hence it is used in displacement transducer. So if you move the core at the position of core, we will get the EMF across that secondary coils, and it will depend on the position of the core. It is greater, equal or 0. Advantages. Advantages of LVDT. So it should be linearity, then infinite resolution, high output, it is high sensitive, then it is less friction, and the last one is low power consumption. The power requirement for LVDT is very low. Then disadvantages of LVDT. LVDT is sensitive to stray magnetic fields, therefore shielding is necessary. It can affect with magnetic fields. Temperature affects the performance of the transducer. Then performance affected by vibrations also. And the response is limited by mass of core and frequency of applied voltage. So these are the some disadvantages of LVDT. Fourth transducer is light dependent resistance, that is LDR. So this is the type of light transducer. It is used to convert light energy into the electric energy. So this is the symbol. So basically it is a type of resistor with the arrows. That's why symbol is like resistor, and this is the actual image of LDR. So in LDR, photoconductive effect is observed, therefore it is also called as photoresistor. So basically LDRs are used in the light condition. So when LDR it is in dark condition, so there is no light on the LDR, its resistance is maximum. And when light is in incident on LDR, its resistance is decreases. So that's why this light condition is used in the measurement of light energy. And the conductivity of LDR depends on the light incident on it. So let's see the construction. So in the LDR consists of ceramic substrate, a layer of photoconductive material, metallic electrodes to connect LDR in circuit, and a moisture resistance enclosure is there. Cadmium sulfide, selenium, germanium and silicon are the photoconductive material. So if you observe this picture, we have base pin, then we have ceramic substrate, and photoconductive material like germanium, silicon, selenium are used to conduct the photons and gives the electric signals. Let's see the applications of LDR. The first application of LDR is photosensitive relay circuit. So in this application, relay is driven to the LDR, that is photosensitive resistor. Then it is used in street light control also. So whenever this is the real-time application of LDR, then it is used in automatic iris control of camera. So whenever we are using flash in our cameras, in that flash we can use this LDR. And the last application of LDR is object counter. So it can be used in object counter to cut that light. If object will cut that light, it will act as a object and it will count 1 object, 2 object, like that. So in this application, LDR is used as a object counter. Let's see the application of LDR, that is photo relay. So this is the diagram. Basically this circuit diagram is used in our 12th board practical. So this is photo relay experiment of paper 1. So in this circuit, if you observe this circuit diagram, it has one LDR, it's connected to the transistor SL100. Then that transistor collector is connected to the electromagnetic relay. So here transistor act as a switch which will drive the electromagnetic relay. So whenever light is incident on the LDR, its resistance is minimum and it is connected to the 1K resistor and which is connected to the base of the SL100. So when light is incident on the LDR, resistance is minimum, the base voltage is minimum, the micro base current is flowing through that transistor, and we will get the collector current which is flowing through the coil of the relay, and we will get the switching on action of relay, so that normally closed connection is connected to the normally open connection. And when LDR it is in dark condition, the resistance of that LDR is maximum, so there is no voltage across base, so there is no current which is flowing through base. That's why no current is flowing through the collector also. That's why we will get the switching off action of electromagnetic relay. Again, pole is connected to the normally closed position. So hence we can drive electromagnetic relay by using this LDR dark condition and light condition. So here again one 10K pot is connected. That is, the use of this pot is to adjust the base voltage, and one diode is connected across that relay to protect that electromagnetic relay. So in this way you can explain this circuit diagram. So this is the application of photo relay, that is the LDR. So students, in this lecture we have seen the transducer, then what do you mean by transducer, then selection of transducer, characteristics of transducer, then methods to reduce the error in transducer. Then we have started the working of transducer. In that we have seen the thermistor, then we have seen LVDT, piezoelectric pickup. So in the next lecture we will see the remaining transducer, that is optocoupler, gas sensor, etc. Thank you.